Well, now that we've got all the sides milled in nice and square and looking pretty, we're going to go ahead and start with our pocket milling features that we've got to put in there. In the center of it, we have a 1/2 inch wide by 2 inch deep slot that we've got to mill in there. That one's going to be, that's the only one that was a little bit questionable, but we should be able to do that. I think what we'll end up doing is probably using, say, like a 1/2 inch drill on one end and go ahead and putting a hole in it for the end mill to clear, so I don't have to plunge 2 inches deep. I did find a 1/2 inch extra long end mill that will do that. All right, we've also got a 1 inch wide slot that we need to mill across here. That'll be for the copper block to sit in. So that'll be the last two features of doing this over here on the K&T. Once we get that, then we can go to the other mill. We'll go to the Duwall. We have 4 tapped holes to put in there. Actually, we got 6 tapped holes, and then 1 additional tapped hole on the side that'll be for the 1/4 inch MPT fitting to go in there. All right, so we're going to get centered up and start making our milling slots in there. We're going to be going with our collet holder now. This is the collet right here and the nut. We got our 1/2 inch collet in there, and that's what we'll be using to hold our, we're going to use an edge finder, drill bit, and an end mill in this. Our halfway distance, including the edge finder, is going to be 3.247 there. We're going to mill our 1 inch wide by 1/4 inch deep slot in there first across the top. We've got this brand new 1 inch end mill that we're going to use. This is a double end, 2 fluid end mill. And it's razor sharp, never been used before, so should make a nice cut. We already got our 1 inch collet in here. All right, that's this. There we go. Trying to hang up on me a little bit. There's our copper piece that's going to be going down in the slot. I went ahead and just buffed the side of it, you know, on my blapping plate over there on the 400 grit sandpaper. So we've got a pretty good fit, but it's still a snug fit. So the whole piece together is going to be a little tight, and I think it needs to have enough clearance to where Jody's not having to try to pry this thing out of there, you know. So I think what we might do is just go ahead and skin, let's say 2/1000ths down this inside wall right here. It's trying to go in there, but trying to get tight on me as well. Let's just take a couple thou out of the sidewall so that maybe we got enough clearance, it'll just drop in there nice. That's what we're looking for right there. So what we did was we just put a pocket in there so that we don't have to plunge this end mill all the way down. I'm going to start with this high helix 3 flute, and I can get a little over an inch out of that, but we'll take about an inch of it out with this high helix, and then we'll go in there with this long flute and finish it out with that. Chip welded in aluminum. This definitely is not going to be an easy feature. This is probably the most difficult part of the whole job, is creating a 1/2 by 2 inch deep slot. So I've got another end mill in there. We got a 2 flute, and I'm gonna baby it and slow the feed rate down and try to keep that mist on there. I do not have flood coolant on this, for anybody that's going to ask me that. I've got my mister, that's all I got. So I'll try to flood it more with the mister, but it's really hard to get a good video up close with that mist going because it splashes up on the camera. So I'll do what I can to try to get you a shot. We're getting real close. I've only got 1 pass left in the bottom of that thing, so right now we're at 1 3/4 inches thick. I'm sorry, 1 3/4 inches deep. Yeah. So I got 1 more cut of a 1/4 inch to bring it down to 2 inch. That depth is not critical. It's a clearance. It's a cavity for that tube to go in. So I've been keeping up with my depths though, so I'm just going to touch off and go another 1/4 inch down there. I still got my relief here on this end that you can't see where the drill went down in there. But I've been taking my time, taking a 1/4 inch depth to cut so it's not putting too much tool pressure on that end mill, and keeping the mist blowing on it very hard to try to blow the chips out. And it's an absolute mess around here right now, man. I got aluminum blown everywhere and all over me. So I'm looking forward to getting a shower tonight, getting all this mess off of me. Well, there she is. We got the 2 inch deep pocket milled in there, and hate to have to admit that I broke that end mill right there at the beginning. I've got a little edge right there that I still got to contend with, so I'm going to have to come back in there. I'll probably break that corner off with a chamfering mill. Probably chamfer this one there as well, get rid of that sharp edge. But it's it doesn't look that bad. Definitely could have been. I wish I would have had a new end mill. I should have looked that thing up and bought me a new end mill before I started the job, but I didn't. But I think that's going to work fine. That side looks really good. Over here on this side, you can still see a couple faint lines where the very end of it was pulled over into it. But I don't think it's going to hurt anything. This is going to have that copper block bolted down to it all the time. You're never going to see down inside that pocket. So that step's done. But I'm going to close it down for tonight. Come back out here in the morning and see about maybe putting breaking a little edge on these corners right here, and then we'll move on to the next feature, maybe doing some drilling and tapping.